Today, we're going to talk about something very juicy, which is to niche or not to niche. So many business owners, especially those who are just starting, whenever they're thinking of what should I offer in terms of my services, because especially in the events field, you have so many talents. You can design, you can decorate, and you can also plan. Should you niche down to just event planning, or should you niche down to just event designing, or niche down to just event decorating? All right. So that is a good problem because you have a lot of skill set, but it also creates some confusion. What should I offer when I'm launching my business? And a lot of times, what most new business owners do is they decide to launch a full suite of services. That means in this case, you are marketing yourself as an event planner, event designer, and an event decorator. Is that the right thing to do? I do want to say that there's no right or wrong way to launch your business. And I'm going to share with you my own experience, how I launched my own event planning company and why I niche down at the very beginning and then open up to offer a full suite of service. Actually, it's the other way around. Let me correct myself. I did not niche down. I offer a full suite of services and then I niche down to doing only certain services. And is that the right way to do it? Again, there's no right or wrong, but I'm going to give you a few examples and then you can decide what is best for you. If you are listening or watching this particular episode and you are not an event planner or in the events field, okay, event planner, decorator, a designer, this may not be a direct reference to your business, but there is still some fundamentals in it. So I will urge you to continue to listen or watch this video. Okay. When I first launched M2 Hospitality, which is my event planning company, I did not niche down, even though my background is in event planning. Okay. I don't like to decorate, neither do I like to event design. But can I do it? Yes. Can I do it very well? Absolutely. Okay. I can decorate and I can design events in terms of all aesthetics and all five senses very, very well. And can I plan? That is my superpower. I can absolutely plan from A to Z and do event strategy from A to Z. Okay, from sourcing, contract negotiation, event budget, conceptualizing the whole event, the whole nine yards. All right. So when I first launched M2 Hospitality, I offer a full suite of services. I offer event planning, I offer event design. I did not talk about event decorating as in like being on site to decorate the whole event because I incorporate that under event design and then I hire vendors to do that. And I also incorporate on-site event management or destination management services. So you can see that I don't have one message out there to talk about what exactly I do. I offer a full range of service. Destination management services includes on-site staffing, off-site activities, anything that you need when you come to this city, I can help you. Transportation, team building, dinners, sightseeing, the whole nine yards. Plus, okay, vendor sourcing, contract negotiation. I offer a full suite of services. So you see, I did not niche down. Okay. Why did I choose it that way? Because when I first started M2 Hospitality, I have FOMO, just like most of you. You are afraid that if you niche down too much, you may lose out in getting leads or business that requires the services that is outside of your niche. imagine if I am just starting the business and I know that what I love most is just planning events. I don't want to do any event design. I don't want to do any destination management services. I only want to plan events. I am limiting myself to only servicing clients who need event planning services. Okay. As a new entrepreneur, we definitely feel like we are not spreading our net wide enough to capture all the other leads that I'm also capable of doing. Okay. So that is the most common fear of missing out. Okay. For new entrepreneurs. And I did that because of this FOMO. Do I regret doing that? Absolutely not. In fact, I was very glad that I did not niche down, because over the years, I have come to learn that I don't really enjoy doing DMC work, which is destination management work. Having said that, I also realized that this type of services that I provide, which is really not my superpower, but I can do it very well, and also not the thing that I enjoy doing most, actually give me the most return of investment, because I only need to spend very little time, and yet I make a lot of profit from doing destination management services. So I've learned to keep that under my portfolio, okay, as a type of services I offer, but I don't talk too much about it because it's really not what I enjoy doing. It is one of the services we offer as an additional revenue for my business as the business evolve. Okay. So when I first started, I offer destination management services, and that became almost 50% of our business revenue. And I also offer one particular service when we first started M2 Hospitality, which is trial stays for attorneys. That means any law firms, and we work with major, huge law firms who require event planning services, such as organizing their war rooms, negotiating contract with the hotels for a room block. So we are known to do that. Actually, past tense, we were known to do that in that industry, in that field of work, because of how I'm able to negotiate contract, which is my superpower. Okay, so I enjoy doing that. So the other 50% of the, actually not 50, 30% of the revenue comes from there. And then the 20% revenue comes from exactly what I love to do, which is event planning. So I work with major corporations where I help to plan the events, okay, as a third-party agency. So as you can see, when I first launched M2 Hospitality, I had different basket of services and different baskets of revenue. I did not put all my eggs in one basket because I suffer from FOMO, and I thought that is a good way for me to expose myself to all the different services that I know I'm very good in delivering, and then eventually get a feel of it, of what I really love to do. And given time, if the business, or when the business get to a certain point, I'm able to pick and choose what type of events I want to do. So eventually, fast forward, I niche down to only two types of services that I constantly talk about. Number one, which is helping Fortune 500 companies to plan and strategize their in-person events. And number two, which is helping 6 to 8 figure coaches to strategize and plan and execute their ticketed in-person events. So I only do in-person events. I do not do any virtual events. And I only do these two types of events. Or these two types of clients, okay, corporations, do I still offer destination management services? Yes, but it's not something that I focus on or spend my time and energy in building that particular portfolio, because I noticed that when I'm planning events for these two type of clients, okay, the two niches that I narrow down, the destination management services naturally comes with it. All right. So I don't focus on that third portfolio anymore. I niche down to only doing in-person events, number one, which is the broad spectrum. And then under in-person events, I do it under Fortune 500 companies and also 6 to 8 figure coaches for their ticketed in-person events. So I niche down on that. So my strategy is to go broad and then come down, because that allows me time to understand what is the return on investment for each of the suite of services that I offer, and then decide where is my passion, what am I most excited with. And you can probably tell that I chose a path that is not giving me the highest return of revenue or profit, which is the destination management services, but I chose a path that gives me good margin of profitability, which is event planning, event strategizing, and then event design. Okay, so I have a good mix. Again, I will still do DMC services, but it's not my main focus. This is like the gravy. So how did I and why did I not choose the path of the least resistance? That means I don't have to spend so much time, but I make the most money. Why do I not choose that path or niche down to that path? Reason being, I don't want to wake up just working for money. I want to wake up doing what I really enjoy, which is event strategy, event planning. So how do I make up for the potential loss of revenue when I don't niche down to the path where it gives me the most money? I increase my fees. I increase my fees for event planning and strategy, okay, for these clients that I work with, so that I still get to do what I love to do and be compensated well, okay? So that's exactly what I did. Given time, I brush up on my skills, I make more connections, I prove my worth, and I'm able to raise my fees to the point that the return on investment is almost the same as doing DMC services, which I really don't enjoy doing, but it gives me good money. So now I enjoy doing what I love to do. I get to do what I love to do and get paid well as the DMC services. But I would not know this if I did not start out with a broad spectrum and then eventually niche down, because I gave myself an opportunity to try it all and then decide that, oh, I really don't like doing this. So for those of you who are thinking, should I niche down to just doing weddings or should I just niche down to doing corporate? I would say to try it all, because I did that too. When I first started M2 Hospitality, I was doing weddings too. And I realized that no, after like 2 years into it, I was like, no, I'm done. I do not want to do weddings. Okay. I've done a lot of those, even in my corporate life. And then when I started my own event planning company, I did it for like 2 to 3 years. And then I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore. So I gave myself the opportunity to try and then eventually narrow down. Same thing for my coaching business events for anyone. We were super niche. Okay, in this case, we were extremely niche down to only doing event planning, to only work with event planners. I was super niche. Okay, so I did the reverse for my coaching business. I started off super niche, charging a quite high coaching fees, which at that point in time, probably one of the highest in the events field. And I only work with event planners. I do not work with event designers or decorators, okay? And the event planners could be corporate or wedding, no problem. So all my coaching materials are only geared towards event planners. I was extremely niche on that. And I was also very niche in terms of my pricing. I only target people who can pay, okay? Who's willing to invest in themselves and their business. So we're talking about close to $10,000 a year. At that point in time when I launched it, it's probably one of the highest in the events field. I was super niche. So all the way until almost 4 years in the coaching business, I have decided that, okay, I no longer want to offer one-on-one coaching or group coaching anymore. at that price range because I also respond to the marketplace. What is the market looking for? I look at the market demand and I look at what is giving me joy. At the point in time, for the first 4 years, I was having a lot of satisfaction, fulfillment, doing one-on-one coaching. Okay. Eventually, after close to 4 years, I realized that, I have decided that at the end of the day, I like it, but I don't love it. Okay. I like it and I don't love it for XYZ reasons. Therefore, I niche down. Okay. I niche down from no longer doing one-on-one coaching or group coaching to only selling a digital course that is at $24 for 24 courses. Okay. $24 for 24 courses. Why? What made me go from high ticket sales to selling something so cheap? First and foremost, I have realized over the course of those 4 years how event planners, designers, and decorators, okay? So I also niche down to just not event planners, but I also broaden up in terms of the course material that actually is applicable in the 24 courses that's applicable for designers and decorators because they're mainly business fundamentals in terms of numbers, in terms of sales and marketing strategies. So I broaden up the niche, okay, from only doing event planners and I broaden it up. So it's the reverse of M2 hospitality. So I broaden up the niche to include 3 categories in the events field and also change how I run that business in terms of the service to be provided. Okay. So to niche or not to niche is an evolution. I would say do not be so rigid about it. Okay. I would say if you know for a fact that you only want to do one thing because you can't stand doing corporate events, you only want to do weddings, you don't want to do children's party, you don't want to do any other social events, you only want to do weddings because you already have experience doing other stuff, and you only want to do weddings, then niche down all the way to weddings. All right? So you know it from the get-go. But if you are new and you don't know, you have done weddings, you have done birthday parties, you have done other social events, and you like them all. And you have done corporate events as well, and you like it too. So in this case, you don't have to niche down. You can offer a full suite. Just like a good friend of mine who's also an event planner, her company, she does a lot of weddings, high-end weddings, but she also does corporate events. But her corporate events are somehow geared towards more of the social aspect, such as she does a lot of fundraising events, galas for non-profit organizations. So mostly party planning, more than what I do, which is very dry corporate events where big conferences are, and I focus a lot on audiovisual needs, not so much on the aesthetic, whereas she gets to do a lot more of the aesthetic feel for her corporate events, which is very similar to the social aspect of weddings. Okay? So you have to decide what feels right for you. If you don't know, don't niche down. Okay? Try it all and then decide what speaks to you most. Now, the problem with being so broad is your marketing messages can get a little bit lost, okay? You may not be able to clearly articulate exactly what you're known for. So in this case of mine, M2 Hospitality, when I first started, I articulate all the services that we provide. Okay. So on my old website, we talk about these are the services we provide. So I basically just throw everything on the wall. So like I throw the whole kitchen sink. So I am not known to have event strategy. I'm not known to do DMC. I'm not known for one particular thing. I'm known as the 411 that I do it all. So when you are marketing yourself, that if you decide to do it all, in this case, like my event planning company, every time, every single opportunity that I have in terms of networking or on my website or talking about my business, I make it a point that I say we do it all and we do it well. Okay. So I don't have a client contacting me for one specialty. The client contacts me because they know I can do it all. So my target audience is corporation who needs someone to do it all. Not one thing only, no. They need me to do it all. So in this case, right, I was very clear in terms of my marketing. As I niche down to 6 to 8 figure coaches doing ticketed in-person events and Fortune 500 companies doing in-person events, I make sure in my marketing message, I talk about I only do in-person events. And I recently did not close a client, a potential lead, because this potential lead is so focused on the virtual platform that they want to do it in conjunction of their in-person event. And this lead was asking me, how much is my involvement in making sure that the virtual platform is working, managing the virtual platform? That's not what I like to do. Neither am I super skilled in that. And it's not what I want to do. So I was very, very honest with this lead. And I told this particular person, potential client, that your team will have to handle that, because my focus will be on the in-person perspective, and I will not be focusing so much on that virtual platform when the in-person stuff is happening. So they decided to hire another person, and I'm glad that they do that they did that, because I know that I'm not the best person for them. Okay, is the money good? Fantastic, the money is great, but I don't want to do an event where I know that I really don't want to do or not super good in doing, if I have to split my attention between those two. So as I niche now, I am very clear in my messaging. Okay, what is my superpower? For 6 to 8 figure coaches, my superpower is in event strategy in terms of ticket pricing and ticket sales. All right, ticket pricing and ticket sales and contract negotiation and managing your event budget. So I talk about these 4 things all the time. Same thing for the corporate events. I let my corporate clients know my superpower is in contract negotiation and managing your event budget and measuring your ROI. So I'm only attracting these people. So when you are going to offer a full suite of service, that means you're not niching down, make sure you talk very clearly about the full suite of services that you are looking for, because there are people who are out there who's going to need the full suite of services. You cannot be thinking about, but what if I'm not known for this? If you are afraid of that, okay, but what if you're not known for being a wedding planner? What if you're not known as being a corporate planner? You have to understand, if you niche down, then you start worrying about, but I can also do this. So you are caught in the middle. So pick your side, okay? Pick your side. And the only way to pick your side is to try it all and then decide that, what do you really like to do? Which in my case, I decided that I don't like to do DMC services. I only want to do in-person events and ticketed in-person events. So same thing for my coaching business. I niche down, then I open up. And when I open up, I also open up in a very niche way. That means I'm very clear, I'm no longer offering one-on-one coaching or group coaching. I only sell this digital course, and this digital course is only applicable to event designer, planner, and decorator. Okay, so I open up the niche in terms of the people that I serve, but I niche down to one service that I provide, which is selling the digital course. Okay, so if you are a decorator, your skill is to decorate, right? I would strongly suggest that when you are launching your business, just talk about your decorating services. If you are not skilled in event planning, you're not skilled in event planning. You may be skilled in event designing, because when you decorate, you probably are the designer as well. So you can talk about this too. And then as you continue to grow your business, you realize that, oh my God, decorating is taking up a lot of my time. I'm tired. I can't do more than one event in a day. Then you niche down to just event designing. Okay. So hopefully this gives you an idea to niche or not to niche, when to niche, why you should niche, and if you niche, what you need to do, and if you don't niche, what you need to do. Heavy topic, but extremely interesting and insightful in my opinion. And I use both my businesses as an example. Hopefully it gives you some idea what you can do for your business as well. As usual, we have a CTA, okay? Which is, in this case, the CTA would be my 24 course bundle, Business Kickstart bundle. And it talks about all the business fundamental. Okay, this is the digital course that I was talking about. It talks about the business fundamental, from pricing to sales and marketing strategies, to mindset, to productivity, to legalities. So if you are thinking to start a business, all right, you need to think about these fundamentals first before you think about whether you want to niche or not to niche. You need to ask yourself if you can handle all these business fundamentals first. Do you have the passion to handle it? Do you know how to handle it? If you don't know, then the 24 course bundle is going to help you to give you an idea what it's like to run a business, what is required to run a business. Then you think about whether you should niche or not to niche. Make sure you go to the show notes to check out the 24 course bundle. And as usual, my ask for you is, if you have enjoyed my content, make sure you share it, you like it, you rate it, you review it. I would greatly appreciate that. Talk to you again next week.